Okay, so there's going to be a lot of exciting things that we're going to be announcing and talking about coming up. All right, but first things first, the residential purchase agreement. In 2015, starting November 2014, they're going to finalize the new residential purchase agreement, and it's going to be updated on your WIN forms. Okay, so when it's updated, you'll need to run a WIN forms update. If you have WIN forms on your computer, you'll need to run a WIN forms update, and the WIN forms update should populate all the new forms for us to use. Okay, the version is version 11 of 14. That means November 2014. That's when we'll start having to use this agreement. Okay, procedural wise, there's a lot of things that has been changed and updated procedural wise. What I mean by that is, and some of the highlights is that we no longer accept checks from our clients. We no longer accept checks from our clients. Okay? If we do, then we have to send it into a trust account, and we don't do that. All right? So those are some of the things that are changed. You know, some of the key highlights, how important some of the changes are, is that deposit checks. You know how, like, if the buyer and seller can't agree to who's going to receive the deposit check, then it just sits there, and it waits to go to some kind of mediation or arbitration. These days, with the new contract that comes up, basically the rule is that if someone feels that they're due a deposit check, they send in a demand to the title company. If the other party doesn't catch it and doesn't say don't release the deposit check, the title company will release the deposit to the person that asked for it.
Either side.
Either side.
Either side. That's one.
So let's say, it's right in the contract. So basically, to answer your question, let's say seller wants to keep a buyer's deposit, even though they don't have a good reason to keep the buyer's deposit. They could, without you knowing, and they could put it any time. It's not at the end of the deal. They could say, hey, this buyer's being wishy-washy. They send in a demand to keep the deposit, cancel, send in a demand to keep the deposit. But then a certain amount of time, the escrow company will release the deposit to them, and now it's up to you to go chase your deposit down. Okay? Okay? Or buyer cancels. If they rightfully cancel, then they have to submit a demand for their deposit back. If seller decides that if seller doesn't even respond, then title company automatically release the deposit back to the buyer, right? So there's things like in this contract, you got to be on your toes. In this contract, you got to be on your toes, okay? And really watch out for your client's deposit because of all the things I could think about, the deposit is the one thing that's real cash money on a deal that doesn't consummate. It's the one thing that's always in question is who gets the deposit. In this case, I foresee a lot of people getting deposits, and then there's going to be big fights. And a lot of times when there's a big fight regarding deposit, the agent always gets dragged into it. Okay, yes?
Other than requesting an alert from your coordinator at the title company, how would you suggest that we monitor the deposit?
Well, when you're in a good deal, then obviously they're not going to ask for a deposit. But when the deal starts going south, then you're going to have to start communicating with the escrow officer and letting them know that, hey, this deal is going south. My clients want a request for their deposit back, right? Or the deal's going south. My seller is feeling that the buyer has breached the contract. They want to hold the deposit, and then at that time get the appropriate form in. Be the first one to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. It's okay. So there are significant changes in the RPA. All right. Changes in the way that we do things going forward. I think there are a lot of good changes in there, and a lot of changes that clear up a lot of things. So let's go ahead and start going through it right now. So first page, I'm going to pull it up on the computer. Okay, for those people at home. All right. This is the final draft of the new residential purchase agreement. Okay. I know that you can't see it that well on this screen. If we could turn one of the lights down, please. Just one. Just click one of the lights, please. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. All right. Okay. Okay. So on the residential purchase agreement, you will see the items that are highlighted in blue. You'll see the items that are highlighted in blue are the items that have been changed. Okay, the items that are highlighted in blue are the items that has been added or changed to the contract. Okay, so the contract is still the same information that's gathered in the contract. And those people in behind, feel free and pull up some of the chairs in the back, or there might be some empty chairs scattered around here, okay? Okay, so date prepared, that's the date the contract was prepared. Okay, 1A, this is an offer from, is the client. Okay, real property is the address, purchase price. Okay, close of escrow. They just added a little short little blurb in there that says brokers are not parties to this agreement. Okay, brokers are not a party to this agreement. And Alex, if you could adjust the one back here too. Okay, brokers are not a party to the agreement. All right. Item number 2 in the purchase agreement is that on there, right here, you always have to submit your contract, and you always have to do a disclosure regarding real estate agency relationships. Always make sure you have that disclosure. Now, you'll see in your packet that there's actually 2 new disclosures, and you also want that disclosure signed as well. And the disclosures basically say, one disclosure basically says that there's a possibility that you might represent more than one buyer. Okay, and then or seller. It says possible representation of more than one buyer or one seller. It's a new disclosure that we will need to have in the contract. It's basically an extended disclosure that is not just a disclosure regarding real estate agency relationships that talks about your fiduciary duty to your clients, all right? But there is another disclosure, and it's called possible representation of more than one buyer or seller, and that's the additional disclosure saying that you do work with more than one client, that you might show more than one client that property or a similar property. And same thing, you do work with more than one listing, and that you're trying to sell more than one listing. So if you ever see a situation where you're going to have more than one listing at a time or work with more than one buyer at a time, then you need to have this disclosure so later on the sellers don't say, hey, you worked harder to sell that person's listing and you didn't work as hard to sell my listing. Why did you bring your best client to buy that home for a certain price, and now my home's still sitting there on the market? You know, there's favoritism there. Does it make sense? Okay, so there's a new disclosure that needs to be done. Okay, there's a new disclosure that needs to be done. All right? Yes. Oh, okay, let me record the screen. Okay, how do I do that?
Where did you say that was in this packet?
Okay, it's on the very last. It's on the page 11. Okay.
Okay. Nope.
101, right after the residential purchase agreement. Okay. So that's a new disclosure that needs to be done. I don't see where it is. It's fine.
I bet you at the last page.
Oh, no. No, it's in there. Okay, so let's move on. That's okay. It's okay. Okay, next, let's go on. Okay. So on here, obviously, we have 2B as a confirmation. This is where you put the name of our company. Okay, this is where you put the name of our company. Okay. And guys, can you raise your hand if there's an empty seat next to you? Okay. Hey guys, look, there's more than 9, 10 seats. Please find a seat somewhere. I'll give you this moment. Come and grab a seat because you're going to be here for 3 hours. So So there's 2 seats up here. Come on in. Come on in. Sanjeev and Ben, there's seats up here. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Right here, there's 2 seats right here, right in front. Okay, Ben. All right. All right. Okay, so 2A and 2B. Last chance to get into a seat.
Is somebody sitting at that desk? It's easy
But,
to do, right.
okay. Okay. Well, actually, why don't you pull a chair right to the next there? Pull that chair right next to it because you have a. Okay, yeah. All right. So get situated, everyone. Okay, better. Okay. So C. Okay. Potentially, see where it says 2C, and it says potentially competing buyers and sellers. That's the potential representation of more than one buyer or seller disclosure. That box has been checked. It's part of the... Oh, okay. That box has been checked right here. So that's where that second addendum is, okay? So not only do you have the first addendum that we always use, the disclosure regarding real estate agency relationships, but now on item 2C, there's another addendum that is needed when an offer is presented. Okay, there's another addendum, okay, that's in there that the clients will have to sign, okay? So that's one of the first major changes is there is a new addendum. It'll be in your WIN forms, but that addendum is now a required addendum if there's, and trust me, there's always the potential of having more than one of your buyers be interested in the same property. And obviously, if you have ever more than one listing at one time, then again, that's an addendum you need to have. So might as well put it on every form that you have. We're going to audit for it, okay? But that's just part of the new changes, okay? All right, 3, finance terms, okay? Initial deposit. Now check this out. Let's read through that so everyone understands in item 3A of your purchase agreement. Initial deposit. Okay, buyer represents that funds will be good when deposited with the escrow holder. And it says deposit shall be the amount of, and that's where the amount of the deposit is. And then right now, the default is buyer direct deposit. Okay, right there. It says right here. Buyer direct deposit, meaning buyer shall deliver the deposit directly to the escrow holder by electronic funds, cashier's check, or personal check, or in another way, within 3 business days after acceptance. That is now the new norm. Okay? That is now the new norm. So, then that's a big change. So no more collecting checks, everyone. Okay, the reason they do that is because a lot of clients get their checks lost. They put a stop payment on a check, and really, believe it or not, stop payments only last for 6 months. Someone else could find the check years later and still cash it. Okay, years later and still cash it. So make sure that. So remember, from now on, starting now, no more collecting checks. In the form that we use, the default is, okay, that the buyer will direct deposit to the title company. They will keep, okay, you keep a photocopy of something, okay, but they will keep the actual check themselves, and within 3 business days after acceptance, there too, and you check the box, whether they be electronic funds transferred, that means they wire, or they will mail a cashier's check or a personal check, okay, to the title company. That's the new instructions that you'll give to your client. I say you get one, okay? But then you don't need to have it if they say, I'm going to wire it. Or you don't need to have it, so I'm going to get a cashier's check, all right? So really, you don't need to have it.
What about making offers? Is that something that you incorporate with your...
Yeah, well, this is your offer.
So
And
you don't want item 3.2 being worked on?
no, we do not want item 2 because it has to be. You see, the item 2 is buyer deposit with the agent. The buyer is given the deposit by personal check or to the agent submitting the offer. Okay, the deposit shall be held uncashed until acceptance and then deposited with escrow holder, okay, or put into a trust account. I would rather just do the 3A. Okay? Yeah, for the whole company, yes.
So Robert, when we write the offer, usually they require a copy of the check with the offer. So what do you do then?
Well, with the new changes, you know, I think less and less people will require a copy of the deposit check because you just let them know that look at the offer. The offer says that the client is going to send the deposit directly to the title. Does that make sense? It's now the new default. Understand that? The new default. I mean, obviously, we always want to go by the default. All right? And for those people who are standing outside, there's still 2 seats up here, okay? And there's 3 seats up here. So would you tell the staff that, you know, if people don't have a place, there's 3 seats up here, 2 over here, okay? All right? Okay. It says on here, another change is deposit checks given to the agent shall be the original signed check and not a copy. Okay, initial and increased deposit checks also received must be recorded into the broker's trust fund log. Okay? All right, let's move forward here. And then I'm really going to focus a lot of time on the changes. What's standard is standard still, okay? Okay. 3B, there's an area for increased deposits. Okay, there's an area for increased deposits. Okay. And then 3C, there's an area for all cash offer. Okay, before I think it was on the second page, and I'm going to scroll this up here. Okay, there's an area for all cash offer right here where there's no loan needed. Okay, the written verification for sufficient funds to close this transaction is attached. Okay, so what they're saying is that the new default on cash offers is, you check the box for all cash offer. If no loan is needed to purchase the property, then a written verification of sufficient funds to close this transaction is attached. Okay, if you don't have it, then you check the box, and then the default would be you would give them the proof of funds within 3 days after acceptance. Okay, 3 days after acceptance. All right. Okay. Again, guys, there's still three seats up here. Okay, they're available. 2 over here, 1 over here. All right. Okay. Next is loans. Okay. Next area is loans. All right. This is similar to our contract before. Okay. There's 2 right here. Yep. All right. In the loan area, the first loan amount of, and now I can't stress enough the importance of this. A lot of times, this is what I see. Okay, on a dispute, your client did not qualify for a loan. Okay, so you cancel because of the loan contingency. But it turns out that the cancellation was because your client was trying to get like 95 or 100% financing. But according to the loan that you put on there on the first, your client was putting 20% down. Okay? You guys understand that?
Yeah.
Okay? I ran into that once this year. Okay? A denial letter came, and the agent on the other side said, wait, you know, this denial is for this client getting basically 100% financing. According to the contract, they were putting 20% down. You know, if they're putting 20% down, there shouldn't be no reason why they did not qualify for this loan, which made perfect sense to me. You know, after a week of going back and forth, you know, the end result was that they basically split the deposit. Does that make sense? But the thing is that, you know, whatever is on the pre-qual letter, whatever they're putting down, try to be as accurate as you can on the loan that they're getting, so later on, there's no question as to if they qualify for that loan or not. Make sense? And of course, I've also seen people put the terms of their FHA loan, okay, on there without marking a box that says FHA. There's a difference between a conventional financing and FHA financing. Okay, in FHA, there's things that are called lender-required repairs. Okay, and now there's a whole section that talks about lender-required repairs. Okay, and there's actually even a form called FVAC, which is actually a form that you should use with the contract as a disclosure for your client if your clients are getting an FHA, getting a deal on an FHA. So why is this important when you're not only the real estate agent but the loan officer involved? Because if you're a loan officer, and I know I have some of my loan officers in here, thank you for being here. The thing is that you need to know the changes in these contracts. Okay, there's a new addendum. If the contract is written with FHA, a FHA loan, there's an FHA disclosure. It says right here, an FHA, a mandatory clause, Form FVAC, shall be part of this contract transaction, right? Well, if it shall be part of this contract, then you need to include that as part of the contract. Okay, so on deals, and if you're the listing agent, and you're accepting an offer that's FHA, you should ask for a copy of that clause as well.
So there's no disputes when it comes to...
There's no disputes.
What needs to be
right. Because
credit for.
Believe it or not, I see it, that people write these, but they don't mark the box FHA. Maybe they wouldn't have accepted your offer if you didn't mark FHA. Right?
Robert, there's an FVA and an FVAC form that you need to submit?
No. The FHA VA, a mandatory clause. That's what it's called. The form is just the FVAC.
What about the one up above it? It says, after acceptance to deliver a seller written notice, car form FVA.
Where are you looking?
FHA or VA. Is that what you're looking at?
Are you talking about this? Right here?
Right there. What form?
The FVA.
VA amendment.
Car form FVA.
Oh. Okay, let's read that. Okay, days out acceptance, deliver seller written notice, form FVA of any... No, that's the letter required repairs form. If there's any required repairs, then that's what you would send them. Okay? Basically, after the inspection, an FHA might require some lender-required repairs. That's the form of any lender-required repairs that are needed. If there's no lender-required repairs, then you don't need it. But if there are lender-required repairs, then you need to send that form in. Yes?
When you're doing a VA loan, and it's mandatory to have termites section 1 and 2.
Right.
FVA is the form that you send to let the lender know that they have to do the section 1 and 2.
Right.
It needs to be sent with the purchase contract.
Right. Right.
And they also said that once you mark FHA, some of these forms will automatically drop into your to be filled out.
Okay. So what Gene just said is that if you're doing a residential purchase agreement and if there's an FHA loan you're doing, you're saying that in WIN forms, these forms will automatically drop in that needs to be filled out.
I took the actual class.
Oh, they'll automatically populate.
And CAR came and gave the class.
Okay. Good.
And they said that once you mark FHA or VA, some of these forms will actually automatically drop into your thing so that
Okay. Perfect. All right, you hear that, guys? So in the WIN forms, in your updated WIN forms, once these forms are updated in there, what they said was that if you mark the box FHA or VA, some of these forms will automatically populate into the list of items that are on there. Just look for it and make sure it's printed out and signed, okay?
It's almost idiot-proof.
All right. Oh, man, there are a lot of idiots. Almost idiot-proof, but there's a lot of idiots, okay? So if it doesn't populate, look for it, okay? All right. So everyone knows there's new forms. All right? If you didn't take one of these classes, you wouldn't know there's new forms. So it will automatically populate, but you need to submit it with your offer, okay? Okay. So that's item 3D, which is the financing, okay? E and F, 3E and F, just as additional financing terms. Okay, balance of down payment and total purchase price. Okay. All right, next page. Next page. All right, verification of down payment and closing costs. On here, basically, it says buyer or buyer's lender or loan broker shall within 3 days after acceptance deliver written verification of buyer's down payment and closing costs. Unless you have it already, then you check the box saying you have it. The verification is attached, all right, of down payment and closing costs. If not, then you have to deliver it within 3 days. Okay? What? Yeah, can you turn on just one thing of lights? Because you have it in front of you. You don't need to be, okay. So we could videotape it, okay? So, remember, on all your deals, I know that not everyone does it. I know that not everyone does it. And not all pre-qualification letters have it. I didn't see it this year, but I saw it like 2 years ago. And you know, guys, as a broker, I'm involved in problem files. When problem files come up, it comes through me, okay? And I saw a couple years ago that a seller wanted to cancel because within a certain amount of time, they did not get the verification of down payment and closing costs. But then the agent said, I gave them the pre-qual letter. Okay, but the pre-qual letter, not all the time, has language in there that says, I verified the down payment and closing costs. Does it make sense? So for loan officers, if I were you, I would add that to my pre-qual letter that if you have verified the down payment and closing costs, then you could put in your language, we verified that they have the funds to close the transaction, okay? Then that will take care of not only the pre-qual part of this contract, but it'll take care of the verification of down payment and closing costs. And it has to come in that language, verification of down payment and closing costs. If you don't have that in there, a couple years ago, a seller, again, wanted to cancel because they didn't get that verification. Really, they wanted to cancel to take a higher offer. Okay? And because it wasn't provided, you know, they actually sent notice to perform, boom. Okay? Now, when a buyer and seller wants to cancel, there needs to be a proper notice to perform. Okay? They've put out new notices to perform. Okay? So make sure that you're aware of the new notices to perform by the buyer, notice the seller to perform, and seller notice the buyer to perform. There's new forms out there. Okay? Yes?
Would proof of funds not satisfy that?
What's that?
If you provide proof of funds, would that satisfy?
Yeah, that's fine. You know, the proof of forms normally is for a cash transaction, but in this case, you could do that, but you don't need to provide your client's personal information. You know, just you need a letter from their lender saying that they've verified it. You know, I've seen circumstances where a seller says, I want to see their bank statements. But that's confidential information. You don't want to just give bank statements to someone, you know? Okay? Give your bank statements to your loan officer and get the letter from the loan officer. All right? Loan terms, within 3 days after acceptance, the item number J, loan terms within 3 days after acceptance. Again, the buyer shall deliver a letter from the buyer's lender stating that they are pre-qualified or pre-approved for the new loan that's specified in 3D. That's why we talked about that earlier, is that the loan that's specified in 3D on the first page needs to match the lender letter. Okay? You know, if it doesn't, I mean, I'm really, you know, going over detail stuff, because when there's a situation where there's a dispute, people will then skip reading between the lines and they'll read the fine print. And once they start reading the fine print, that's when these things come up, okay? Hey, you're trying to cancel because of loan contingency, but the loan, you know, is really not what's on the pre-qual letter. So you're in breach of contract, okay? So
Could you lose your deposit or something like that?
I mean, it'll be a battle, but you know, but technically, if you put something that's false on your contract, like here, like we'll run the scenario. The question is, could you lose your deposit? Well, if you say you're putting 20% down and now you're canceling using a loan contingency, but you change your loan to 100% financing, then definitely the answer is you breached your contract. You said you're going to put 20% down and you didn't. Right?
Right.
So, yeah, the answer is yes, you could lose your deposit.
Just want everybody to know it.
It's common sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe whenever you change financing types, you should do an addendum to let the other side know.
Yeah.
Because they accepted the offer based on what you had.
Right. That's actually a very, you know what, good comment. Okay? There's a comment that says, when terms of the loan change, if you want to be extra thorough, then you might want to add, okay, at least an email to the other party. But if you want to be extra thorough, maybe even do an addendum saying that the loan terms have changed and submit it, okay, so that the contingency still remains. I'm just letting you know that the loan terms have changed. They have to put more money down. I don't think that, but hey, they're changing their terms from conventional to FHA or what have you. You definitely need to, because if you change from conventional to FHA, then you have to do more forms anyways. So then you got to send the new form, do an addendum. Hey, on item 3C of the purchase agreement, it was conventional financing. Now we've had to change it to FHA financing. Or else later on, when they cancel because they couldn't get the loan, then it could be that they lose the deposit. Okay.
You can look at that as not disclosing something.
Right.
Being
Right.
truthful and honest. If you know knowledge, you have to.
Right.
put
Anything that
forth
could
not
affect the
disclosing.
transaction, you got to disclose it. Okay. Yes, Kimberly.
At the point that you have to put in a loan change to addendum, the seller has the option of saying you want to decline or accept the seller.
Right. Right.
Still honor your current.
Yeah, I mean, the seller at that time could say, no, I'm not happy with the changes, then at that time you could cancel. They might cancel, okay?
Communication's key.
Okay, move on. Item number K. All right. There's an area that actually addresses buyer-stated financing. There's an area that addresses buyer-stated financing, and I'll read that for you. Sellers relying on buyer's representation of the type of financing specified. Okay. It says seller has agreed to a specific closing date, purchase price, and sell the buyer in reliance of buyer's covenant concerning the financing. Buyer shall pursue the financing specified in this agreement. Seller has no obligation to cooperate with the buyer's efforts. All right, other than that specified in the agreement, and it doesn't excuse the buyer from any obligation to close the deal. Okay, if the buyer does anything to try to sabotage the deal, they're going to lose their deposit. Okay, but if they continue with the deal they're trying to get, then they're fine. Okay, number 4. Okay, this is only if the buyer's selling their own property. There's a form for that if the buyer's selling their own property. Okay, number 5. Or other addendums that you might be adding. So, for example, if you're adding an addendum along with the contract, you would mark the box. Okay. If they're submitting this offer as a backup, they'd mark the box. This is submitted for a backup offer. Okay. There's forms to submit. If this is a short sale, you'd submit this contract with a short sale addendum. If this is a probate, you'd submit this form with a probate addendum in here. Okay. And then, of course, you would mark the other advisories. If it's an REO, you would mark the box, hey, there's an REO advisory. Okay. So before a lot of people didn't really pay attention to this area, but now they've moved. A lot of this has always been in the contract, but they've moved it up from the back to the front because this is basically to say what other forms are incorporated into this agreement. Okay? What other forms? If it's a probate, you need to have a probate addendum. If it's a short sale, you need to have a short sale addendum. If it's a REO, you have to have an REO addendum in there. Okay? All this does, it makes you check the box. I believe that if you check the box, probate advisory, then the probate form populates onto your forms list. Okay? Does it make sense? So you don't have to go looking for it. As long as you check the box, it should populate in there. Okay? Okay. Other items? Yes.
Item 3J3 in the front, it used to have, you could make the loan contingent until it funds at the end of the deal.
Right.
That's disappeared.
Okay.
Now they've got 3J3 in there where it puts 21 days for the loan contingency. So if you're doing a 45-day deal, for instance, you might have to go back and change that time period if you
Okay.
get hung up.
Right. Well, actually, you know what? Everyone does everyone know the difference between active and passive contingency removal? Does everyone understand the difference between active removal and a passive removal? Okay. This will save a lot of people's butts if you understand how this works. Okay. All right. These contracts are written with an active removal. What an active removal means is that there's a continuation of contingencies. That means that even though there's a 21-day contingency there, okay, actually the contingency, unless you remove it, remains until the very end of the deal. Okay? Technically, if you, just so you know, after 21 days, it's not automatic that your clients now can't cancel and then they have to go proceed. If they cancel, they're going to lose the deal. And then, so don't take it that way. Okay? There's an area, and we'll go through it. It's called continuation of contingencies. So if an agent ever comes to you and say, hey, it's already been 21 days, you no longer have a loan contingency. No, that's not true. Matter of fact, the contingency remains, okay, until I remove the contingency, okay, in writing. There's a contingency removal form. But then, on the flip side, if you're representing the seller, and we had this come up like 3 years ago. I remember we had this come up 3 years ago, all right? And I told the agent, I said that if you, as an agent representing your seller, you want to be very diligent. Okay, if they have a certain number of days to inspect the property, then you send them a notice to remove the contingency, when that contingency comes up. Because if not, then the investigation contingency remains until the very end of the deal. That means that they literally can find something wrong with the property and cancel. Imagine you're 45 days into the deal, okay, and then the buyer decides to back out because they just simply found something they didn't like about the property. I don't like the neighborhood. Oh, I don't like the school district. Wait, you only had 17 days to investigate and inspect the property. Oh, but I never removed my contingency. Well, if you never removed your contingency, then it just goes on. Same thing with the loan contingency. If you're representing the seller and 21 days comes up, then that can, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, now the loan's going to be good because they can't cancel anymore. That's wrong. They have to remove the contingency. So one of the first questions of the broker I always ask is, have they removed their contingencies yet? If the answer is no, then say, hey, send in a cancellation. Okay? Does that make sense? So if they don't remove it, the contingency continues. Before, I think like 4 versions of this contract ago, the contingencies used to be removed passively unless you mark the box active removal. Do you guys remember that? A long time ago, there's a box that says either active or passive removal. Well, back then, the default was passive removal, meaning after 21 days, you're done. Right? Here, now, it's active removal, meaning that you have to actively remove the contingency. Does that make sense? Yes?
If you put that in a counter that the buyer passively removes contingencies after 10 days, will that hold up in court?
That will hold up. Okay? All right? But I wouldn't use the word passive removal. You could use the word passive removal. You might put a definition of that because not everyone will understand the concept of a passive removal. You might want to make it more clear English, just saying, loan contingency is automatically removed after 10 days. And I think short sales are like that. REOs and short sales are like that. They have things that are just automatically removed. Does it make sense? So then you can avoid the contingencies. You can avoid the removals. All right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, allocation of cost, number 7. Okay. This is where the new allocation of costs area is. This is who pays for what. Okay? Okay, this is who pays for what. This area right here. So, who pays for it? Buyer or seller? Natural hazard? Who pays for it? Whatever reports, other reports that you might ask either the buyer or seller to pay for. Okay, as we scroll down, there's government retrofit. Okay, there's other required work, title, escrow, other costs, and I'm gonna start moving through this a little bit faster. I'm moving a little bit faster if you don't mind. Okay. Okay, so that area. Any questions on the allocation of costs or any comments? Yes, Amy.
The big change here is that the pest is no longer there.
Right. The big change here is the pest, section 1 and 2, termite repairs, is no longer in this area. Okay? Okay, there's no longer in this area. Another big change here that I circled, the other items is the same. Who pays for what? At the end of the day, this is who pays for what. But there is an item in here, is if the buyer waives the purchase of a home warranty plan, you need to check the box saying they've waived the home warranty. Okay? There's a box. Buyer waives the purchase of a home warranty. Nothing in this paragraph precludes the buyer from purchasing that. Okay? The termite items. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. D at the bottom of D. Okay? 7D. Buyer waives the home warranty. Okay? Okay. In item 8 of the purchase agreement, and you can read this on your own, they added a whole body of information here. This body of information just clarifies more what comes and does not come with the property. Okay? It clarifies more what comes and does not come with the property. You know, I guess in any contract class, and I'm sure that you've been in a contract class before that's mentioned this, but be absolutely sure what comes and does not come with the property. Okay? I've run into a situation where it says, okay, on the confidential remarks. Who was the one that brought me that deal? I might be someone here. Where on the confidential remarks, it says, you know, $5,000 spa, you know, included with the home. On the marketing remarks on the MLS. You understand that? On the marketing. Brand new $5,000 spa, you know, to remain with the property. Deal closed, spa's gone.
And it wasn't?
Well, when the agent wrote the offer, they didn't put the spa in the contract. Okay? Here's the rule. Whatever is advertised to the public, even on MLS, is not binding in this contract, including any bonuses offered to the agent. $2,500 bonus to selling agent. If you don't put it in the contract, then you won't get the money. They might be nice and ethical and pay the money, all right? But so you know, you won't get it. Okay? I've run into that before.
I had a property that I bought that they had a stained glass window, but it was nailed in. It was like angled. And when I made an offer, I'm like, that's an attachment. It's an attachment. It's an emblem. And then I'm like going, okay. When I made my offer, that was included because that's nailed down. It's part of the house.
They took it with them?
In the inspection, it says, oh, by the way, that doesn't go with the house.
Yeah.
After I made the offer, they should have said it.
Yeah, but technically it doesn't come with the property.
They gave me a refrigerator because.
Yeah, but technically it doesn't come with the property. You know, if you had to take it to it doesn't come with the property. You know, the personal items. You know what they say?
This was nailed down though, so they.
No. Even things nailed down, they take it, they leave the nail.
Yeah,
they take it, they leave the nail.
There was no mention of it. This was affixed to the house.
Matter of fact, it's funny. It's actually on here. Okay, it's actually on here. You know that, like you would think like you know, like if a plasma TV was mounted on the wall permanently, and to remove the plasma TV, you uncover all these holes that they put into the wall. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, they could just leave the brackets there. They could take the plasma, leave the brackets. Okay? Because electronics doesn't come with the home. Yes?
Would that include security cameras?
Okay, let's go through here so you can see, okay? And these days we're running into a lot of homes that have actually long-term leases on solar. We're running into homes that have long-term leases on solar. If a new buyer comes in, they have to take over that long-term lease on the solar. Does that make sense? It's addressed in here. Okay? So I mean, Solar City, most of their solar setups are long-term leases. These days, you buy a home, you're going home and you're inheriting a new lease. But the thing is, if they don't know, it's going to be a big problem, okay? You don't want a seller to sell their home and still pay on the solar lease. But technically, it's a personal guarantee. Does it make sense? If you sell a home that has a long-term solar lease on the home, then you have to get them off the lease and get the new people on the lease. Make sense?
Does that go against their DTI?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a debt. But at the same time, it's a cost savings because they would have to pay for electricity anyways. A lot of times it's
But it
a
does
cost.
affect their ability to qualify.
Right.
It really does.
Right. It does. Okay, just so you guys understand that, okay? Because these days solar is big and you're going to run into that. So there's an area. Let's go through it, okay? All right. Existing fixtures and fittings are attached to the property. Existing, this is what existing means. It means electrical, mechanical, lighting, plumbing, heating fixtures, ceiling fans, fireplace inserts, gas logs, grates. Solar power systems are existing. Built-in appliances, windows, screens, awnings, shutters, window coverings. Okay? Attached floor coverings, TV antennas, satellite dishes, air conditioner, pool spa, garage door, remote, mailbox, in-ground landscaping, trees, shrubs, water features and fountains, water softeners, purifiers, security systems, and alarms. Okay. If checked, all stoves, all refrigerators, all washers. So, I want you to see that. If the stove is not a built-in stove, the stove goes. Okay? Refrigerator is in the niche, but doesn't normally come with the property. All right? Washers and dryers don't come with the property. I mean, as experienced agents, you know, but if you're inexperienced, you don't know, okay? So stoves that are sitting there free, that's not built in, do not come with the property. Okay? Does not come with the property. Neither does the refrigerator. Okay? Neither does the washer and the dryer. Okay? Okay.
Unless you request it.
Okay? So be very clear about it when writing up offers. Okay? Now okay. Existing integrated phone and home automation systems, including necessary components such as internet, hardware devices, control units, other than mobile devices, electronic computers, and applicable software, passwords, permissions are included in the sale. So like you have like an in-house Lutron system that controls the lights and everything like that. That comes with the property. Okay? All right? Now let's read this area. Leased or liened items and systems. Seller shall, within the time specified, disclose to the buyer if any item or system specified in the paragraph otherwise included in the sale is leased or not owned by the seller. That's where the solar happens to come in place, okay? Or subject to a lien or encumbrance. To deliver buyer all the written materials concerning that item, buyer's ability to assume any lease or willingness to accept the property subject to the lien contingency of the agreement. So, if you are listing a home that has one of the Solar City or a solar lease on there, you might want to disclose it on the confidential remarks when you're listing it, saying that this home has a solar system and it's on a lease with Solar City. Buyer to qualify for the lease, assume the lease if they purchase this property. And on top of that, you might put in there on the counter offer, if you're going to counter buyer to assume the existing lease on the solar system. Does that make sense? Okay? Because you don't want to leave the seller having to be responsible for that lease. Does it make sense? All right? Is that fair to say? All right. Okay. So make sure. Okay. Items are excluded from the sale. Okay. This is interesting. It says here, Unless otherwise specified, the following items are excluded: audio, video components, flat screens, TVs, speakers, and other items. If any such item is not itself attached to the property, even if a bracket or mechanism attached component, okay, furniture or other items secured to the property for earthquake purposes. That means that the brackets attached to the walls, the floors, the ceilings, for any such component, furniture items shall remain with the property. Okay? The brackets attached to the walls, ceilings, furniture shall remain with the property. Okay? Okay, the brackets itself, the brackets attached to the walls will remain. But the TV and so forth itself, they'll take it. So if there's a flat screen TV, then they'd probably take the flat screen TV and leave the bracket. Okay? Unless they needed the bracket, then they could fix it and take the brackets with them. Okay? All right? They could fix it. A lot of flat screen TVs come with a bracket that was made for the TV, so they need to take it. Okay? And number 9 just talks about closing and possession. Okay? Item 9 talks about closing and possession. Okay? Okay. A second here. Okay. Item number 9 talks about closing and possession. I'm just looking at the time here, guys, because at 1:30, I have to break for a quick minute and have the guy from conversion take over and go over the conversion system with you as a special training on your website. So, and then after he's done, because I have him booked at 1:30, then we'll continue with the contract. Okay, he's going to go for only 30 minutes. Okay, all right. 9C is there's a form that you need to fill out if the seller is going to remain in the property after the property is closed. Okay, there's a form. There's a new form. Normally, the property is delivered the keys 6 p.m. on the date of the close or whatever is agreed. If the seller will remain in the property, then there's a new form, and you'll see the form highlighted right here. Okay, there's a new form highlighted right here that shows if the seller has a right to remain in the property or not. Okay? Now, for the people taking this class who's out of the state, I know that some of these forms in California don't pertain to you, okay? But in 20 minutes here, the conversion websites and all those definitely pertain to every office, the ones in Washington, Oregon, and here. And but the things on the real estate purchase agreement, a lot of the changes here, a lot of the rules and regulations here are reciprocal to a lot of states, okay? So these are things you can watch out for. All right. So I'm going to move on, but there's a new form that needs to be done that allows the seller a continued occupancy in the property, okay? So that's there. Okay. Item number 10. These are the statutory disclosures, okay? Obviously, we need to have the natural hazard disclosures. There needs to be the transfer, the TDS, the transfer disclosure statement. There's a new, even expanded transfer disclosure statement coming out that I heard, okay? And this area talks about that. These are the standard disclosures that need to be provided within a certain period of time, okay? Now, I want to go over the rule with disclosures with you real quick. And this is actually very important affecting your deals. Anything you disclose that's a material fact, and I'm going to read it to you. If any disclosure in item number 10.7, if any disclosure or notice in paragraph 10A is amended, okay, or notice is delivered to the buyer after the offer is signed, the buyer shall have the right to cancel this agreement 3 days after delivery in person or 5 days delivered by mail. I know you're going the extra mile by doing this, but some agents send the disclosures, even before an offer is signed. Does it make sense? because they just don't want to get into a deal, open escrow. They have the deposits in the escrow, and there are things that the buyer doesn't like on disclosure, maybe death, maybe something. You might, I mean, some agents that are like ahead of the curve or they have a very good TC, some agents send disclosures prior to the deal even getting signed. Maybe they're in the counteroffer stage, okay? Offer's been sent, they're in the counteroffer stage. They'll send the TDSs, they'll send the disclosures. Because, just so you know, because I've seen people get disclosures late and use that as an excuse to cancel a contract. Normally, the deal is when you receive a disclosure, you have 3 days to review and cancel. It can be the stupidest of disclosures, okay? But technically, it says right there that you have 3 days to cancel after receiving the disclosure. So I mean, there's been a time in the past where an agent would come to me and say, my clients want to cancel, but they've already removed the investigation contingencies and they removed their loan contingency. Okay, I said, well, did they get all their disclosures yet? Okay, here's a list of disclosures. Oh no, they didn't get they didn't get their NHD yet. Okay, well then, once they get it, they have 3 days to cancel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh, they didn't get their NHD yet. I mean, there's been times where NHD don't come till almost the end of the deal. You know? But really, you should get it to them within 5 days of acceptance. Give them all the disclosures. Give them that 17-day window to investigate. Okay? After that, if you redisclose something, you're giving them more time to cancel, regardless if you already removed the loan contingency or the investigation contingency. When they get a disclosure, they have anytime you get a disclosure, you have time to review it. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's move on. I'm going to move on. I got to move forward. Okay? We're going to go through the conversion system in a few minutes here. Okay? Hey, Yia, can you do me a favor back there? Can you call Linda in here real quick for me so she could help me get this pass out on to conversion? Yes?
I just wanted to point out that 10.4, SPQ has now become mandatory.
Oh, okay. So thank you. All right, 10.4. Item number 10-4. Okay. Seller, unless exempt from the obligation to provide TDS, shall within time specified complete and provide the buyer with a seller property questionnaire. Okay? So not only you need the TDS, but you need SPQ as well. Okay? I'm going to give you the phone number for at 1:30. Brian, I don't know if you have his number. Brian Hoylman, okay, is going to be doing so I need you to so we could give him, we could hand over the webinar control over to him. Okay. Okay. All right. So can you call him and let me know if he's ready? Okay. Okay. This is his number. All right. And at 1:30 he's going to take over. So make sure you're here so we could give him access and put him on speakers. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. So I'm going to break here for a few minutes and then come back to it. Okay, I'm going to break here. No, but we're not going on a break. No, we're not going on a break.
You heard the break.
Okay.
That was it.
I'm breaking, okay, to go over what we're going to hear about in a minute, but we're going to go back to this. Because, I mean, the thing is that I know that we're only on page 4, but the contract's only 10 pages long. And we got through the major bulk of the changes. But there are some changes that are very important that we're going to go over after. Especially like one change I put in here, I put a big star by it, and they even made it a different color. And what the change is about is, so please guys, don't leave. If you need to use the restroom, then go use it. No. All right? But it's regarding the escrow and the deposit checks. It's very important, okay? All right, this next section, so we're going to change the topic for a little bit. The next section is your ability to move your business to the very next level, okay? Is your ability to move your business to the very next level. I'm going to show you something that I'm very, very excited about. And the system is called conversion. Okay? This system is called conversion. All right? And I'm going to go to their site here. Okay, conversion is a system where you get a full-blown website. It's a system where you get a full-blown website. You get a full-blown a content management system. Okay, you get a full-blown lead generation system and a lead management system, and you even get your own mobile app for your clients to download on their phones and search the real estate, get comps on their properties anytime they want, and the mobile app is your mobile app that they download for you. So anytime they're on that mobile app, you know. And on top of that, when they need to search properties and say, I want to see this property, it goes directly to your lead management system, and you know when they're looking for properties, okay, that you could work with them. Okay? The system is so good. The system is so good that in 2001, they were the #1 software company of this type in the world. And their system at that time was sold to a company called Market Leader. I don't know if you've ever heard of Market Leader, but Market Leader uses this company's old system. Does that make sense? They're the ones that designed the system for Market Leader. Okay? Now they designed a completely new system, and the completely new system is out, and we're one of the very first companies to partner up with them to be able to provide the systems to all of our agents. Okay?
How much of an improvement over the old system?
Oh man, they call this the Ferrari of systems.
Going to be the market follower then.
Yeah. Like for example, I'll show you. Okay? One of the things that comes with the system is everyone gets a full-blown, powerful IDX website. Okay? But these are some of the things that comes with the website. You have a 24/7 virtual assistant working for you 24 hours a day. All the agents get that. 24/7. It's called Chatty Agent. And so now all of our agents, you get to use Chatty Agent on if you have the conversion system, you get to have Chatty Agent not only on your new website, but any of the landing page or websites you currently are using right now. You could put Chatty Agent on there, and that's your 24/7 virtual assistant. Okay? That's your 24/7. These are the chat team. This is the chat team. And the chat team aren't people from a different country that don't speak English. The chat team is a team from here, trained salespeople in America. And what it does is that it's available 24 hours a day. When someone goes to your site, okay, the ability for you to capture that person that goes onto your site is only 5 seconds. You got to catch someone or they're going to just surf. All right? And when they're there, the Chatty Agent instantly pops up and asks you if you have any questions, and they could help you look for property. They could email them properties. They could set them up with their own account, help them download your app. They're basically your assistant that's there to capture the business for you. Hey, my name is Chad. I'm a Chatty Agent. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I could go in there and start asking them some questions. Okay? You'll be able to have that on the site that we'll provide to you, but you can add that on any other site that you have as well. Does that make sense? That's now you have a 24/7 assistant. This 24/7 assistant can set up immediate email notification to you. They will immediately, once they are working with the client, they will send you, because they're on your site, an email notification on the spot saying that I am chatting with someone on the site right now, okay, and they're interested in seeing property. Can you call them right now? Does it make sense? You get once we finish a chat, the lead information is immediately phone or email to you for follow-up. So you will call the client right away. Okay? You will get custom website message if you want. Okay? Easy website integration. And believe it or not, the Chatty Agent works on the mobile too. So once the people are on mobile, Chatty Agent will pop up right on their mobile device, and they could simply type in a chat right from their phone. Right from their phone with you. Does that make sense? That's called Chatty Agent. All right? That's called Chatty Agent. Okay? Another system that's absolutely incredible is that there's Property Boost. Okay? That's with your system. It's made to impress your clients now. Okay? It's a 7-day, or it's a Property Boost to not only boost your listings, your listings exposure on all of the social networks. You're talking about social networks that has like an instant Craigslist advertisement template that you could put on, and boom, it automatically goes onto all the Craigslist. It goes onto the Facebooks. You could simply, on your back office, you could push send. It goes to all your Facebook, so everyone sees it. All right, people could then friend it. You could add you as a friend, and it sends to all their friends. So pretty soon it becomes like, thousands of people can see it, or if they like it. Not only that, it sends to Craigslist. It sends to all the social networks, the Twitters. It sends to the other property posting areas, Realtor.com and so forth. Okay, it sends it all out. So every time you take a listing and you're sitting there, you tell your clients, I have Property Boost. And then look, I went in here. Okay, when you sign up for Property Boost, you get a free trial of Chatty Agent. But our system, you get it. Our system, you just get it. Okay, it comes with it. All right. Features, daily reports. We email or text you and your clients daily reports showing visits and chats. Okay, visits and chats. So your client that you took a listing for will get a daily report of how many people learned about the property, viewed the property, and so forth. So, all right. So the clients daily. Look, we email or text you and your client a daily report showing the visits, the chats, and the social shares of their property. Okay. We use Facebook ads to perform and to deliver a large amount of low-cost traffic to that property and to you. Okay. We have a 24/7 man chat support that automatically chats with the people that are looking at that property. All the properties are easily shared using Facebook, Twitter, and Google. Impress your clients, keep your old clients with this system. Yes.
I currently use Facebook and I boost my posts,
Mm-hmm.
share them on all of those things you're talking about
Right.
as well. But does it also track our promotions and boosts of the websites? Because I'll link to my property site that I'm listing.
Sure.
And
Sure.
it tracks all
Definitely.
that?
Definitely. It handles all that. Matter of fact, another system it comes with is Nosy Neighbor. Part of our system that we have has Nosy Neighbor. All neighbors are nosy. Okay? New listings and postcards are sent to all neighbors of new listings, not just yours, that come into the area that you want to work. So imagine that you have a new listing. This system, when you have a new listing, you put it in. Okay, look, another chat service pops up. Hey, get this chat service, right? Well, and then you will have that opportunity for all of your sites. But under Nosy Neighbor, you get a listing, then a postcard is automatically mailed out to all the neighbors of that new listing about the information on that listing. It's an automatic generated postcard. It's professionally done. You pay for the postage, of course. But the thing is that you say, hey, I want 100 postcards sent to all the homes that just got listed in this area. So not only your listings, but even other agents' listings. A listing comes up, boom, neighbors are nosy. So then all the homes next to that listing automatically mailed from you, professional, with your picture, information on that home, to call you if they want to list their home.
That's cool. That's nice.
Does that make sense? Oh, so I'm working this area. This is my farm. So use Nosy Neighbor. If let's say your farm is Elk Grove, or it's in Roseville or Citrus Heights or wherever it is, the moment that a property hits the market, we send to all new listings to the neighbors.
So, Robert,
yes.
Are we going to reserve zip codes or something? Otherwise,
yeah.
we're going to get 500 nosy neighbor cards from all of our agents.
Right. I mean, we're gonna work it in a way where we're reserving little areas for people, first come, first serve. Okay, but it's sent weekly. As soon as their neighbors the home hits the market, they get a postcard, and you get a report of what was sent out and what homes were sent to your farm. Up to 100 per week. We send out enough quantity to keep up with all of your markets, new listings. All right? Get your text leads. Curiosity wins. It's exclusive. You pick a zip code, and you own it exclusively. So first come, first serve. We're the first ones in this region to have this. So you reserve your spots. Okay, if you like nosy, check our listing machine. Okay, so that's awesome. Nosy neighbor, and you will have access to that. Okay. Okay.
Additional charge for that?
Yeah, you have to pay for that. I mean, of course, no. You get it for no. Yeah. Okay, and finally, you have listing machine. Check this out. One of the things that's very important is the system is called conversion, and he's going to talk to you and train you on it. So he's going to repeat some of the things that I'm talking about. But one of the things that agents have the most hard time with sometimes is getting listing leads and sales leads because you don't know how to internet market. You just don't know how to internet market. When you have the conversion system, you can literally go into the conversion back office, all right, and you'll be able to say, I want to put a $300 a month budget on my marketing. Automatically, and this is the area I want to market in, automatically you will get leads coming in from all over Google pay-per-click because they're going to create a big keyword list. They're going to try to get as much relevant traffic to your site as possible, and it's a professionally managed campaign for you, and all you need to do, and that's what I'm most excited about, is say, hey, I want to spend $100 a month in advertising. I want to spend $300 a month in advertising. You pay for it, and it's done for you. And then here's the thing that makes conversion system so powerful, is that in the conversion system, you could get you could get traffic to your site, but the problem is you can't convert it because you don't have all the time in the world to turn that into a client. Well, remember, you have Chatty Agent. That means that every person that goes on your site immediately has a 24/7 person that's emailing with them, trying to capture them as a lead, right? The site itself is a lead capture site, so as they enter information, it will then automatically start sending them emails that are relevant to what they're looking for. Okay? Any traffic you convert in your site, it puts it into a lead management system to continually communicate with those people, okay, on a weekly basis. And then you even put your own database into that site, and then now your database is professionally managed and communicated with ongoing. So what are agents' two worst things that they do? They don't communicate with their past clients very well, and they don't market very well. And if they did market very well, they don't know how to turn that lead into a client. The system professionally does it for you with responders, with communication. That's what they're there for. Does it make sense? All right? It's the most powerful system on the marketplace. Okay? All right, let's put them in. So I gave you a little bit of information. We have the professionals from conversion here to do a training for you. Okay? I'm going to give everyone an idea. So basically, and then if you're outside and there are people outside, have them come back in. Okay? Huh? Yeah. All right. And have them start populating back in. Okay. All right. So basically, how the conversion basically works is this. Okay? We want all of our agents to have it. So what we did was in Washington, for those of you who don't know, we have offices in Washington and Oregon now and in Southern California. So we have probably right now over 20 in all, okay? And And what we've been able to do within all the locations was that we were able to do what we call an enterprise, full company package. All right? The conversion to, so you understand, is not only, the conversion is not only a website, it's a full-blown IDX, CRM, pay-per-click management system. Cancel everything. Conversion does it all. Okay? It is your professional online presence. It's your fully professional online presence. But at the same time, it's your mobile presence as well. It manages not only your database that you have on computer system, it will also manage all of your database you have in your phone systems as well. Okay? All right? It's so cool that they have a system in conversion where if you put the sign up, you put the sign on the home, the sign comes with a text number, and when they text that phone, when they text that number to, they will immediately get all the information that's on the property. So, like you have a listing, and, people, instead of getting a flyer, instead of putting a flyer, you don't put a flyer, you just put your rider that has a number. And when they text that number to a special phone number, they will get all of the proper property information that is on that property. Does it make sense? Yeah. But here's the cool thing. Guess what just happened? Guess what just happened? No, what just happened is that you just got yourself a phone number. See, it automatically captures that phone number, so then that phone number is automatically now put into your database management system for like the automatic text messages that will go out and let them know, hey, this home or that home. So it's not even using just internet marketing. It's using literally the texting as well. Okay, does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Will it load the text information into the CRM, or you do that manually?
What's that?
The text information, does it load it into the CRM?
Yeah, it automatically captures it and loads it into the CRM. Okay, and then this is the rep. The rep is actually listening to the conversation right now. So if he wanted to add something, he's calling me to let me know if I wanted to add something. Well, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks. Right, okay, thank you. Okay, so another thing, and what he was saying is that, so that's what we have on all of our listings, is the ability to capture all the leads that way. The system itself will automatically market to your database, obviously, to your phone numbers. The system is very professional, super professional. So when they go to your site, it's automatically connected to MLS. And so since it's automatically connected into your MLS, okay, your clients could put profiles, and the system will send to your clients all the relevant information they're looking for on an ongoing basis. Does it make sense? So your clients are always being communicated with. Yes?
So if we're connected with 3 different MLSs, because where we're at, surrounded.
Right.
So can we have it where it would be targeted based on where they're searching for that MLS?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to them about that. I'm not an expert in this system just yet. But that's some of the things that we could just go get training and have. Okay, but it's really exciting, some of the things that they could do. So, but ultimately, so I could get through and start reteaching my contract here. Just to get through it, ultimately, it's a full-blown website, number one. Number two, it's a full-blown database management system. Number three, it's a full-blown PPC management system that manages your marketing for you. It's a full-blown system that manages the marketing. All right? Number four, it's a 24/7 virtual assistant that communicates with the clients to try to capture the lead for you. All right? And it has the two things. The nosy neighbor is that the nosy neighbor system, that doesn't come with it, but you could add the nosy neighbor system with the conversion, okay? And what it does is if you have a team, you can link your team together so you can work on the groups of leads as a team as you want, if you want, okay? All right? Not only that, but we link you. If you have a loan officer on your team, oh man, it's awesome because now the loan officer can work with the whole team and co-manage and be able to help all the team members do all the loans for the team too. So the main key loan officer that manages a team of 10 agents, the loan officer will be able to see all the leads and be able to work with all the leads to make sure that all the deals are closed properly. So you're talking about you're truly integrating the ERS system, elite system, with the real estate, the mortgage, and the same goes for any other services that we offer. Insurance, we basically link everything together under that system so that we could help in capturing that client and capturing the business that we are able to do with the client. Okay, so it's a really, really powerful system that does that. And on top of that, when the leads come in, because once we do that, we're going to start using this system as a company to market for leads. We're going to use this system as a company. So the company is going to buy leads. And for the agents that are actively involved in the company, okay, for the agents that are actively involved, well, what do you want me to do with this? I need this in my email. You know, do you want me to show it like this? Don't see it. Right?
It's in your email.
Yeah, no, I have it already. See, it's right here. Okay, so I'm going to show everyone the system here. They just sent it to me. So the ERS system, for all the agents that are active in the system, we're going to throw leads into the system. The thing is that agents are going to be put into pools, okay, for offices. As the leads come in, the leads are going to be distributed in that pool. So not only the leads that come in from the floor call and all the sign calls, but the leads that we buy as a company are going to be put into the system. As the leads are put in the system, it's in a random pool that will shoot to you. Hey, boom, you have a lead. You get a phone call or a text, boom, you have a lead. Call it right away. If for some reason within, let's say, you have 20 minutes to call the person. If 20 minutes you don't call the person or do something or accept the lead, basically, boom, it'll go to the next person. It'll go to the next person and next person. Does that make sense? So it's pooled, yes.
Will it be zip code generated?
Yeah, chances are it will be. So the agents that work that zip code, we code you into that area, and then once the lead comes in that area, boom, it's then sent to everyone. Does it make sense? Yeah. And when those leads are sent to you, it's sent to you, you work the lead. If you choose not to work the lead, then you don't work the lead. Okay? Then you just let it go to the next person. Does it make sense? But here's the thing. The system is the most important thing about the system is it's an accountability system. Okay, and Teresa, if you could have the people, there's some chairs that people they need to be inside to tell people go inside, don't stand outside the hall. Okay, it's an accountability system, and this is what makes you. This is the example of the blog with integrated lead capture. The system wants every person that is getting leads and is active in getting leads, we want you to send minimum 4 blogs, do 4 blogs every month. The thing is that blogging is one of the #1 ways to get traffic to your site organically. You guys understand that? It's part of SEO. Organically. The system has a built-in blog system where you just go in there and you just blog about something and you send the blog. But the blog has an integrated lead capture tool inside that blog. Okay? So every time you blog, it will send traffic to your site organically because the search engines find your blog. So you blog about Elk Grove property, or blog about Roseville property, or Rockland property, or Folsom, or Sacramento property, or Bay Area property. You blog about it, and then it's now sent out to the internet world to be found by the internet. Search engines, right? So our system sets a minimum for the people participating in the leads. You need to blog 4 times a month. If you don't blog the 4 times, then blog will take you 5 minutes to do. Yeah, look, you post on Facebook, you can blog, okay? And we make the tool so easy. You go into your site, write a little article, send it out. It goes to your Facebook, goes to wherever you want to send it. And then all of a sudden, you will get traffic to your site, and the traffic is captured by the 24/7 chatty agent, right? And here's a cool thing, is that if you do not blog the 4 times, then it shuts your leads off until it's turned back on. Okay? So what does that do for your team and so forth? It keeps you active. How many agents out there aren't active? And all we ask is 4 blogs. Okay? The system also says that if you do not respond to the leads, and it's your own leads too, if you do not respond to your leads, then the company-generated leads will not go to you until you start being a good agent and responding to your leads. And it's your own leads. It's not our leads. It's your own leads. But the system will manage and coach you to keep you active, making sure that you're responding to your leads and you're responding to the people. Does it make sense? You know, number one in this business, I know some of you are very good agents. You're top producers. You don't need to be reminded to get leads. And you probably have so much business, you don't need the company-generated leads. Okay? Then you don't have to worry about any of this. Just manage your own leads. But your own leads that you have, you will always have. No one can ever turn that off. But I'm talking about the company-generated paid leads. If you're not blogging, if you're not communicating with even your current group of clients, then the system knows that you're not good at communication. They will not send you any more leads. Does that make sense? So it keeps us on our toes. It makes sure that we're able to be accountable for being a great agent. And we're accountable to our clients. So when our clients communicate with us, it will keep sending us reminders. Hey, and then the cool thing is you set reminders. If you create a client and you say, this client is a Class 1 client, then anytime you want to communicate with all your Class 1 clients, you create ready-made emails, okay? You create ready-made emails, and then you send it to all your clients. And it has, so these are some of the things that it looks like. This is like screenshots, okay, under the ERS and Elite system. See, your sites will look somewhat like this. It's going to be a modern, responsive design. One reason why we want modern, responsive design is so it loads fast, it's simple. The design is right here. And then you could turn the light down one, please. Just turn the light down, boom. Okay? See, they come in, beds, bath, minimum, maximum payment, search property, boom. All these properties are searched on the MLS for them. It has lots of pictures. So they click on it, boom, they'll see all these different pictures, all right? Easy to access information. And the real cool thing about it is, check this out, is that once they make a couple searches, it's going to ask them for their information if they want to go and create a profile. Yeah, they can't go any further unless they enter that information. After they enter the information, then they're allowed to continue to search. Our system will then verify that information to be correct. And the next time they come on, their URL will let us know who they are. And if they gave us the wrong email or phone number, we're going to let them know, oh, by the way, last time you gave us the wrong information. Can you please give us the correct information?
Because, yeah, they're not going to take Daffy Duck because they try to email Daffy Duck. They try to contact Daffy Duck.
Right.
Daffy Duck doesn't exist. They're like, nice try, not again.
Right. So the next time they come on, it's going to ask them for the right information. Okay, I'll enter my right information. Does it make sense?
And it's tracking the IP address that
right.
it came from.
Yes.
So they know it's your computer.
Right. So the system is really cool. That's why sometimes we go on sacb.com and we can't see the article we wanted because we don't subscribe to that. That's how they know, okay? So that's how, this is the technology that we're using. So it keeps verifying their information. So not anyone can just go on, okay? So your site is going to look like this. You're going to have a picture, really easy to search on your site. All your listings will be Your own personal listings will be here as your own listings, and then when you click another button, you see all our company listings. You can have a more refined search right here, but it's really, really clean. Okay. It has heat mapping for all the properties, so they can search an area and heat map it to see what's available. Okay. There's a CMA builder that's built into the system for people to go in and get a price of their home right away. They get the interest rates that are being offered, all those types of things. Okay, so there's a CMA builder in there. Okay, it has in your back office you have a Craigslist posting tool. So anything that you want to post on a Craigslist, it makes it really easy for you to post on the Craigslist. It's a Craigslist posting tool. Okay, it has reminders of Google Calendar events. All right, it's linked up with Google to give you the reminders of Google. Okay, simple integrated blogging. So remember, for blogging, you attach an image. If you want to attach an image, you type up the report, you push send, your blog is done. That's it. That's how easy it is. It's an integrated blogging system in your site. Okay? Here's your drip emailing with the shared library. We have a company shared library of things that are already being emailed out, and you could use that, select it, and do a campaign. You'll be doing a campaign to certain types of clients. Okay, these clients are categorized this way and so forth. Once you get everything in order, this is your drip emailing campaign with a shared library that you'll be able to do on this system. You can do your mass emailing campaign. You can do your mass emailing campaign, all managed for you. I want to mass email all my past clients. Okay? All right? Okay? Attach files to send out. You can do that from here. Automatic property alert, okay? The contact record management, so this is how you manage all your contacts. Fan page integration, widgets to Facebook. All right, that's your fan page integration. So these are the text leads. See, on your writer, ERS, you have your text lead, text this to this number. And then you'll get all the property information on the property there, the ERS.
Oh, it's got the little thing that you can scan with your...
And then you can actually walk up and scan it with your barcode too.
Barcode thing, yeah.
It has a bar, and you'll have the barcode even on your phone and your apps too. Okay. We have a mortgage partners integration and insurance partners integration in there. Okay. We could use this. You could use this widget to put your IDX on third-party sites. So you could actually take the IDX function that we have and put it directly on your other landing pages that you have as well. You see, with your other landing pages. Okay, long tail SEO, sophisticated direct mailing tool. This is the nosy neighbor. All right? All of you are going to get a code. Nosy neighbor is not for free. They don't automatically just mail to everyone on your system. Okay, they don't get that for free. Yeah. But here's the thing. The first month with Nosy Neighbor, because they want you to try it out, any agent that wants to try it out, you get 50% off your first month. Okay, and you'll have a company discount code for that. The conversion system does what it does, but mailing it out, don't think it's it's free. Okay.
On the pay-per-clicks, can you put down what times you want that?
Yeah, no, you work with them, and you work with them. Okay. Text code using your writer signs. See, you get a text code using your writer signs, the ERS writer. Okay, and delete. Okay, recent chat transcripts and so forth. So there's so much you could do. And just so you know, the value of conversion is that conversion is a big company. To do it on your own, as like an agent to do it on your own, really you can't, because only brokers can do it. But the price for most brokers to have their agents do it is $400 per agent to sign up and $400 per month to have the system. It's $400 to sign up, one-time fee, and $400 per month per agent. What we've done is that we're paying a bulk fee as a company to have it. And for the agents that are with us, they're licensed with us, then the only thing that you do is you pay $100 to set up, and we take it from there. So there's no monthly fee. You just pay $100. That's it. Okay? You get all of that, $100. That's because that's the cost to set up your profile, your pictures, link everything, link your MLS and all that. Okay? But it's $100. Okay, $100. It's an annual fee, so every year you just pay $100. Okay, all right. But that's it. All right? We take care of the monthly because we pay the monthly as a full company monthly. We just pay it. So it's a lot. But we know we're going to grow. Just so you know, we have over 1,000 in our company now. Okay? We're up to 1,000 now. So the thing is that we're growing. We're doing real well. So, but this is what we're going to do for all of our agents as well. In addition, for every agent that you send to our company that is a licensed agent that joins, we'll put $100 into your advertising campaign. Okay? So for every agent that joins, so if you're an agent, obviously if you're an agent, another agent joins, we'll pay you, a bonus stream of income on their production. But in addition to that, immediately, if you have the conversion site, we'll put $100 worth of leads into your site that month. So all of a sudden, boom, you'll get deals that month. Okay? In addition to that, if we have our real estate class, now we're starting to really recruit for agents. So we have our real estate class going on, okay? And our mortgage class. If you refer anyone into our company that wants to get their real estate license, all right, and signs up for our real estate class or our mortgage class, we'll put $50 right into your conversion account, okay, in the form of leads, and you'll get the leads for that, okay? So if you refer an agent, we'll immediately put $100 into your conversion account, and you'll get those leads. If it's a referral for the class, we'll immediately put $50 into your account for the conversion leads, and then you'll start getting the leads. All right.
When's the next class for agents?
No, the class for real estate is ongoing. It's every Wednesdays. It's ongoing every Wednesdays. Okay. So they could sign up anytime. They can do it from here. Or they can do it from home. Okay. Online classes, same thing. For mortgage, it's online. But we have our next live class for mortgages coming in December or January. We'll announce it. Okay. But one of the things that we're very excited about is the system. Like I said, you pay for your setup fee. It's only $100. It's normally $400. Normally it's $400 per month to have the system, and we're taking care of it at the corporate level. So the thing is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these out. Okay? Basically, you sign up, and it's first come, first serve. Okay? It's first come, first serve. Just take one and pass it down. Fill it out. Because the sooner that you get your information in, the sooner we can set up your site. Now, the site is a professional site, so we would like a very good headshot for you on your site, okay? So when they're setting it up, we'd like to have a professional-looking headshot, because on our corporate site, there is an agent search function, and we want all the agents to have a professional-looking photo on there. But here's the thing. Every agent fill it out, regardless of or if right now getting the setup fee, you won't have an active account, but we will have an account ready for every agent in the company, because we pay a bulk fee for the company. Okay. So I need every agent to fill it out. Okay. Every agent needs one, and I need a picture of every agent to be on our roster. And if there is an issue with coming up with $100 for the setup, then you talk to my accounting staff and we'll make it work. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. If there's an issue, we'll make it work for you. But we need every agent to have the system. Okay? Yes.
Do you want to coordinate this to the branch owners, or do you want everybody to send directly to you?
Right now, fill it out and just turn it in as you go, so we have it.
Headshots and all that.
Huh?
Sending headshots directly to you.
I have to see how they want it, because we have to send the headshots to them to integrate it. Okay, so I'll see the best way to coordinate. I'll tell all the all the branches how to do all the headshots. Okay, but everyone's gonna have a very professional campaign. So this is what we're gonna do: is that on the way out, before we leave today, I'm gonna have you all turn it back up to the front. Hang on to it. I'm going to have you fill it out and turn it back up to the front, okay? But first come, first serve. We're going to get the group that's here today first, okay? For those of you who are online, the form to sign up for conversion will be emailed to all of the people that have put their emails on our registration today, okay, if for some reason you do not get the email, then just call the office. Call the corporate office and we'll email it to you, okay? All right? But we want to set up your conversion system. Remember, guys, the first time set up, look at all the people here. And you have 100 people in this room. Okay, you have another 300 people online, okay, because they're in groups. And you have another probably 400 or 500 people coming tonight. 100 people live, another group tonight. So get yours in so we can get your site going, okay? The ones that are online, it's the first group. We want to get them all out probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
How do the people online get them?
Huh? For the people online, we're just going to email it to all of the email addresses that we got that logged in. Okay? We're going to email it to all the people that sent their email address. Okay?
So
this form.
On here, is this where the leads go, or is this what?
Well, once we set up, whatever email you put on there, that's what we're going to set up.
Okay.
Okay? Whatever email you put on there, that's what we're going to set up. Okay?
So what do you put where it says completed and submitted by? Is that us again, or I don't know?
Yeah, by you. Okay? Or, yeah. So just your name again. All right? Okay. Well, I hope that you guys are very excited about. Yes. Mike. Excuse me.
When does this going to start?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. I mean. They're actually like here's conversion, is that once you have it, there's a training course that you'll be able to take. The training courses, as you can see, for agents, it's called Real Busy Agents, okay? It's called Real Busy. And then you take the course. The courses here are free if you're a member of Conversion. And the sources are, okay, once you get your conversion site done, this is how you set up your dashboard. This is how you control all your leads. This is how you upload your leads. This is how you follow up. This is how making calls, configuring it, drip emailing, mass emailing, working in activities, lead follow-up for sellers, reviewing the basics, prospecting techniques. You know, all the systems are there for you. Okay? All the systems are there for you. Right there. And this is conversion again calling me. He's actually been on the call the whole time. I just couldn't give him access to it.
I don't see anybody smiling out there. They're going to be increasing your business by
Hey.
10%. Start smiling.
Okay. All right. Hey, yeah, just text me too, okay? Just text me because yeah, I got it. Okay, perfect. So what they just Brian from Convergence said is they have daily training at 11 o'clock on webinar daily for you to once your site is up, you'll daily webinar on it, guys. Daily webinar on it. So that's exciting. All right. So I hope everyone is excited about the system. Everyone send it in because we're going to set it up for everybody. Okay? Yes. What's that? Whatever you want. Okay. But credit card's easiest for us because we have to send it over them. But if you have personal check, that's fine. But everyone, get it in. You know, this is a system that is literally $4,000 something a year, and it's like a $5,000 system yearly that we pay for. So the thing is that really, hopefully this becomes, because what I really want you to do is when you get your mobile app and you have your app and all that, I want you to talk to other agents and say, hey, this is what our company pays for us for free. This is what we get for free. And we don't have a franchise fee, and we don't pay monthly to be part of the company. You know, and our commission splits are good. Man.
5,000.
Yeah.
5,000
you know? So.
What's the fee for the referral?
What's that?
The ones that get referred?
What do you mean?
Is there going to be a fee for the ones that the company gives out to people that want to?
Oh, yeah, no, this system's $100.
No. She's
No.
asking if there's a referral fee for the company-generated leads. That's what she's asking.
Oh, for my office, no. But it depends on the office, okay? Depends on how you work it out. Depends on how you work it out, okay? It really depends on how you work it out, okay? All right. So I'm not sure, but yes and no. In that the question was, if the company buys a bunch of leads and gives it to agents, is there a fee for it? And we haven't really decided that yet. Okay. Yes.
I know some systems, like you're saying, it's going to send you that lead and it waits 20 minutes. There's a way for you, I would assume, that you can put yourself out of that. Like you're going to be on vacation, you can take yourself
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's certain hours you're going to do something. Or
Yeah.
you can
I
check
mean,
it out.
the system is so cool that you could actually take your own leads and you could give it to your team. And then you could track those leads. It's so cool that if you're a lead agent, you could actually take your leads and give it to your teams. And then as they're working on their leads, you can see it. It's really good. It's like a Rainmaker program like that. All right? So you guys all have it. Make sure you get the form filled out. Send it to me. First come, first serve. So I'm going to try to get the group that came here early today in first. So you get your headshots in. Boom. You start setting up all your sites next week. Okay?
First come, first serve.
Okay. We'll go collect in a second. No, we're going to email you. When you're on there, we're going to email you so we can get, because we're going to probably going to send it to us and we can coordinate it. Okay? I mean, I know you didn't bring your headshots with you, but all right. Okay. All right, before I forget, before we get back onto the training, I do want to, so again, any agent we hire will drop $100. We'll drop $100 into your advertising budget on your conversion right away as we hire them. Okay, as we hire them. Okay, number one. Okay, anyone you hire for the class, we'll put $50 right into your conversion account. Okay, for your marketing. We want you to advertise. All right. Once the system gets going, we're going to start creating agent partners, meaning that if there are agents and you're new, but you really want to really get a lot more leads, we wouldn't mind sitting down and talking with you and creating a marketing budget for you just to get you going. Does that make sense? And then we could do some kind of split on the leads. So for those agents who are sort of new and you want to start, trying to rev yourself up, you got to learn the conversion system. You come and you talk to us. Okay, we might do like a revenue share on your company leads, and we might put a full campaign out for you. Does that make sense? Now with the system, it's easy for us. Before with the system, say, okay, we'll help you with your marketing, but you don't even know how to market. What are you going to market? You put on some crazy postcard. I want to market in this flea market booth or something like that. I mean, it's just like, it's tough. In this case, we have a professional system. So if you want to market, we sit down with you. We'll create a marketing plan, create a budget, and we'll do it with you, and we'll do a split on those referrals. Does it make sense? So this allows us to do this now. Okay, so we're very excited. But we want all of you to market. Okay, remember, the last two things, and we go back to our training, is this. Remember, in the conversion system, all right, the exciting thing in the conversion system is you got yourself all the training, real busy, conversion one-on-one. All the managers, you get real busy for brokers, which is how to manage the agents and how to help the agents produce 3 times more volume. They did this, and the people doing this are now producing 5 times more than ever did before. Possible. Okay? I mean, it's crazy. Okay? With the family of products they have, remember, they have Chatty Agent, where you have 24/7 virtual assistant. You have Property Boost, which is your Property Boost, which is a boost all their properties. But these are the 2 that makes you money, okay? Guys, these are the 2 that cost money but makes you money, and these are the campaigns we want you to go with. Nosy Neighbor, listings come up in your area, listings are automatically mailed for you to all the listings in that area. And they do it. It's exclusive zip code, so you better start capturing the zip codes for this company. All right? You have this zip code. Any listings that come in that zip code, boom, Nosy Neighbor mails it to that zip code. Nosy Neighbor mails it to that zip code. All right? All right? So capture what you can. All right? 50% off first month for you guys. But you have to have conversion system in order even to have it. Okay? Because the conversion system converts all the leads. Okay? Oh, I don't know. I think it's like a couple $100 a month. Okay? All right? $199 a month. And then you could generate seller leads at around $4 a lead. $4 a lead. $100 is 25 leads, seller leads. Okay, you're talking about $300 is 75 seller leads a month. All right? $300 campaign, 75 leads a month. You close 2 deals a month on it, and you make $10,000, $15,000 a month on that program. It's around $4 a lead. I mean once you get the system up and running, okay? So it's a very exciting system. It's a very exciting system, okay? Now I think there was a couple of chat questions here. No chat question. Okay, no. Okay. So, all right. So remember, listing machine and nosy neighbor, you have to have conversion in order to get it to work, but you have it and you have access to it. If you help us with the recruiting for agents, and you help us with recruiting for the class, then we'll put money into your listing machine so you get more listings, okay, or for your marketing and advertising. Okay, Nosy Neighbors is a subscription, and you have to take a zip code, but I'm very excited to have it. I hope you guys are excited to have it too. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so everyone, make sure you fill that out. We have 40 minutes left. Okay, we're going to go back to finish up the contract. All right, so let's take our contracts back out. But I know that right at 3 o'clock, you guys your butt's going to start itching to get out. So I have a couple things. Put this on your calendar. Okay, put this on your calendar. Okay? Yes, Brian. Yep.
Has everybody sent back their filled out forms?
Uh-huh.
Keep bringing them up this one. I'll put them in this file right here.
Okay. All right. And then we'll get the technical difficulties out tonight. So tonight you'll have a smooth thing. There's like around 500 people here, so I gotta get back. Okay. 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 Right. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. All right. I got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. Okay. Normally they don't do it this way, but if you want to get a jump start on listing machine. Just so you know, if you want to get a jump start on listing machine, you can start getting the leads now. It's just you can't manage it through listing machine. But once your conversion system is up, then you could go ahead and port all of those into the conversion. Does it make sense? So for those of you who want to get started now, if you mention you're with our company, our rep is Brian. Just remember that name. Our rep is Brian. Okay? Brian H, because I can't really spell his last name is Hoylman, but it's Brian H. And you could start getting the leads on listing machine now. Okay, everything else needs conversion, but you could get the listings on listing machine now. You could also reserve your property boost zip codes now. Okay, with them, you don't have to pay for it until it gets going, but you could start reserving it now. Okay. All right. Put this on your calendars. This is a very important date. Okay? On December the 13th, 2014, we have our grand spectacular event again. All right? That's the night where we close down our building and turn this into like the biggest party in town. Okay? I don't know if how many people have ever been to any of our parties? Okay? And how many people went to last year's party? And you remember we turned outside into a big disco, right? We turned inside into a huge buffet here, and we turned our conference boardroom into a bar, and then we have the casino, the blackjack, the roulette, the craps. So we're gonna have craps, roulette, blackjack, poker. We're gonna have a buffet. We're gonna have dinner and dancing till the wee hours of the night. We're going to have drinks, okay? We're going to have an auction at the end of the night for gifts, and we're going to have a raffle for prizes, okay? And the cost of the party is free. You don't have to pay anything to come to it, all right? So that is December 13th, 2014. It is a formal event, adult only, okay?
That's going to be 12, 13, 14.
Formal. Okay? Event. What?
12, 13, 14.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be on a Friday the 13th. All right? No, it's a Saturday night actually. All right. But the party itself starts at 6. Okay. The party starts at 6, and it's going to be awards as well. Okay. So branches, get me awards. I'll give you what the categories are. Okay. But everyone's invited, and you can bring a guest. Okay. And you can bring a guest. It is, again, it's a red carpet event with the real red carpet walking into the, right? It's a red carpet event, okay? At the same time, it is an RSVP event as well. I mean, of course, if you come, we're not going to turn you down, but we need to know how much food to get. Yes?
So is the award for the 2013 or is it
Both.
2014?
Both. We're covering both the awards, okay? So 2013 and 2014 awards, all right? Because it's late enough where we could just sort of estimate who the 2014 award winner is going to be. So we're going to get that taken care of, all right? And what I need from everyone to do is, again, the event doesn't cost anything, but what we are going to do is for every couple, we ask you to bring a small fun gift we're going to buy a lot of high-end gifts for the auction, but we do want everyone to go away with at least something for fun. So we're going to do a raffle as well. Just bring a small $20 gift or something for the raffle. Does it make sense? For the auction and raffle, it's Christmas time, so might as well do that. So, just one for fun. We just want every couple to go home with something, just for fun. Okay, you guys got that? So we don't need you to, and you can bring more if you want, but it's just for fun. Okay, at the end of the night, it's fun, and we're gonna have some real high-end auction gifts as well. Okay, so put that on your calendar now. Also put this on your calendar. We have 2 days of summit because we're turning it into a conference. So there's going to be 2 days of training on Thursday and Friday. Training from some of the top trainers in the country. Training on marketing, training on new technology, training on different. There's some of the training is going to be based on real estate. Some of the training will be based on mortgage. We'll be training on, like, say, for example, for those people in mortgage, we're going to have like a breakout session to get trained on reverse mortgages. We're going to have breakout sessions to train on different new stated income programs that are coming out. Okay. For the real estate, we're going to focus the training on different ways to market to niche communities, like to the veterans, to the senior housing. Okay. So there's going to be real estate, mortgage, and insurance related conference for the people to come. Does it make sense? Okay. Okay, no. It's going to be on December 11th and 12th. So on December 11th and 12th, okay, we're going to have 2 days of training. We'll be releasing and emailing to everyone that signed in today the schedule of the classes and the breakout sessions. Okay? And again, there's no charge. It's free, a free conference. And then we're going to be bringing in people and flying in people who are trainers from all over to work with everyone on those 2 days, okay? And you'll be trained on new technologies, all types of stuff on those 2 days. And then the next day is party. And the crazy thing about it, the party, before the party, between 1 and 5, is we're going to have a vendor's booth, vendor's fair here at our company, where our vendors could come in and we could meet with our vendors and learn about new things with our vendors and so forth. So we're going to have a little vendors fair as well, so you can actually come early. Yes?
I was wondering if, as a company, are we having any donations to charity for Christmas?
No, I know that some of the branches do some things like that. But for next year, we'll probably put together something like that. Okay? So anyways, guys, put that on your calendars. We have our conference on the 11th and the 12th. And then we have basically that's our summit, our super summit conference. And then we have our party and vendors fair in the day and our extravaganza in the evening. That's Saturday night. Okay? So please put that on your calendar. Put that on your calendar. That is not an event to miss. Okay? That's just not an event to miss. Okay? All right. The conference will start 9 to 5 each day. and then we have, you know, like one of the nights we have a recruiting meeting and so forth. Okay, all right. Speaking of a recruiting meeting, yeah, we are growing the company. So please, if you have any loan officers, any real estate agents that want to join, we're going to help them get their license. We'll put them on your team, and then we'll help pay for your marketing when you do that. And you help us, we'll help you too. All right. So keep your mind on. Yes.
So if we have somebody who's in training for like mortgage or real estate, can they come to this conference?
Yeah, no, the conference is open to everyone. Okay, but again, the conference is also RSVP because our room fits 100. So even though we will have breakout sessions, we'll have main sessions, but we're going to turn it like a conference. We'll have breakout sessions for the different disciplines, the mortgage, for the real estate. It's going to be awesome, okay? So guys, take part in that. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very exciting. All right. Let me see. Any other things? Party, contract, party, sky slope. Okay, everyone talking about. So make sure you help your friends and family get their license, all right? All right, so back to our contract. So I'm going to go back to our contracts. All right, let's go back and finish up our contract class. Okay, page 5. Okay. Well, before you guys leave, turn your things up. Hey guys, pass your... I know people are using it. Pass your forms up, please. If you have the forms filled in, if you could pass them up, please. All right. Just pass them over to the side here and pass them up for me, please. All right. Pass them up. If anyone has, any issue, any problems with the setup, we'll help you with that, okay, with the setup. But I want everyone to get it and pass it up so we could set it all up for everyone, okay? At the party on the 13th, we're going to have photos and also professional headshots if you want a professional headshot on that day at the event as well, okay? So there'll be professional headshots at that event too, okay? Anyone didn't pass yours up yet? All right, so later. I'm just going to be here, pass it to the right and up. Okay, let's move on with our contract. Okay. Ed, can you turn that one light on, please? All right. Perfect. Okay. Page 5. Page 5 of your contract. Okay. Condition of the property. Okay. Condition of the property. All of these properties that are would put an offer on is sold in as-is physical condition. Okay? One of the things to let all your clients know that these properties are as-is. Okay? And it's up to you to inspect the property. Okay? The seller will disclose all their known material facts. All right? But you got to inspect the property. If you do not decide to have a professional home inspection, then you need a waiver. If you do not have a professional home inspection, you need to have a waiver. Does it make sense? We'll ask you for a waiver or a copy of the home inspection at closing. So it's either you have the waiver or you have the copy of the home inspection. It's not you're missing both. Okay? All right? That's the condition of the property. Okay? Buyers investigate the property. Okay? Number 12. Upon investigation of the property, okay, it says, any inspection for wood-destroying pests and organisms shall be prepared by a registered pest control company. Okay? All right? And it shall cover the main building, other structures, and so forth. All right? There's a special addendum for wood-destroying pests if you're going to ask for that kind of work to be done. Okay? And I'm going to move forward. Number 13 is title investing. Okay? It just talks about you'll be receiving a copy of your preliminary title report. Okay? And then it's going to just give you some instructions on what to do with that. Let's move forward because we need to move forward so we could get done in 29 minutes and you're done, okay? Number 14, there's a lot of items in there that I've circled. Okay? Number 14, item number 14, okay, in this item. And for those of you, just off the topic, that are from home, all you do is go to the CAR website. The CAR website. You could just simply click, you could simply type in on Google the new RPA, California RPA, and then you just go right to the website, and you just click on Final RPA Draft, and you just click here, and it will just simply pull it up. Okay? So it's now available online. The new RPA is available online. Okay? All the changes are highlighted in blue or green. Okay? In addition to that, not only those forms, but the draft copies of the new forms that I've printed out for you are on there as well. Okay? The draft copy of the new forms. Okay? Okay. Assignment agreement. Okay. Buyer counter offer number. So these days, there's a counter offer from the buyer and there's a counter offer from the seller. So there's no just one counter offer anymore. There's a buyer's counter offer and then there's a seller counter offer. Does that make sense? If you're representing the buyer, you use the buyer's counter offer. You represent the seller, you use the seller's counter offer. Make sense? Okay. All right. So let's go back. Number 14, so we can go fast here. This is probably one of the most important sections of your whole entire contract is number 14 of the contract. Okay? The reason why it's one of the most important aspects of the contract is that these are all the things that have a time limit on. Other than the close of escrow on the first page, these are the time limits, okay? 7 days after acceptance to deliver all reports, disclosures, okay? 17 days from acceptance to investigate the property. Now, I mentioned to you before, item number 14.4, okay? Make sure you understand this part. There's a continuation of contingencies, okay? Item number 14.4, right here, is a continuation of contingencies. Even after the end, okay, I'm going to read it for you. Even at the end, all right, of the time specified in paragraph 14b1, and before the seller cancels, if at all, pursuant to 14c, buyer retains the right in writing to either remove the remaining contingencies or cancel this agreement based on the remaining contingencies. Once the buyer's written removal of all contingencies is delivered to the seller, okay, may not cancel this agreement pursuant to 14c, okay, but now the contingency is removed. Do you understand that? Okay, okay. D, these are the rules regarding notice to buyer or seller to perform. The notice to buyer to perform is called an NBP. The notice to seller is called an NSP. Shall be in writing, signed by the applicable buyer or seller, and given to the party at least 2 days, okay, at least 2 days after delivery, okay, until the time specified and applicable to take the application action. The notice for buyer or seller may not be delivered any earlier than 2 days prior to the expiration of any of the removal contingency dates, okay? All right, in number 14. So, for agents, it is good practice that if you are representing a seller, that on the 15th day, send the notice to perform if they haven't already yet removed the contingencies. Okay? I've actually seen, I think there was one dispute like a few years ago where the client specifically said, my agent did not do their job right. And I said, well, why? Because this deal went like 40 days and now they canceled because they didn't like the condition of the property. Can they do that? And I said, technically they can. And then they looked at me and he said, I thought they only had 17 days. I said, if they did not remove the contingency, it lasts for as long as the deal is you're working on the deal. It just continues. So your job as a listing agent, on the 15th day, send a notice to buyer to perform and remove the contingencies. Make sense? okay, that properly represents the client. Client, you represent a listing, the client buys a property and doesn't send like the pre-qual letter, send a notice to perform, all right? Get used to that. Okay. All right, those are notice to perform. Close of escrow. Okay. Before buyer or seller may cancel this agreement for failure of the other party to close escrow pursuant to this agreement, the buyer and seller must deliver the other party a demand to close escrow. The demand to close escrow is now a new form. That demand to close escrow is a new form now that when the time is expired and they're supposed to close, it's called the DCE form, a demand to close escrow form. Okay? The DCE shall be signed by the applicable buyer or seller and give the party at least 3 days to close escrow. May not be delivered earlier than 3 days prior to close of escrow. So you understand, if you have 30 days to close, okay, and you're a buyer, obviously a buyer, as an agent, you need to request for an extension, right? But as a seller or buyer, don't think that automatically after 30 days or 45 days, if you don't close, you're out of contract. Does that make sense? There's a continuation, there's a continuation that it says here, okay? If you are going to cancel because they failed to close, you still got to give 3 days. Don't just wait for that day to come. So you're in a 45-day escrow and you have backups waiting, okay? You don't just go ahead and on the 46th day accept the backup, okay? What you do is, there are backups waiting. It's getting close to 45 days. On the 42nd day, 3 days prior to that, send a demand to close escrow. Okay? Once you send the demand to close escrow, on the 45th day, if they don't close, boom, you cancel. Does that make sense? And then at that time, you could accept backup offers and turn them into main offers. All right? But those are the rules. Those are the rules. Okay? Yes.
It says a DCE may not be delivered any earlier than 3 days.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. 3 days. I just said 3 days.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay? 3 days prior to the scheduled close of escrow. So if it's like 45-day, you can't deliver it earlier than 42nd or 43rd. Okay? 42nd. All right? Now this part, it says effect of cancellation deposits. Okay, there's an area that says, look at this. This is important. I went through and read everything. If buyer gives written notice of cancellation pursuant to the rights, the parties agree to sign what they call a mutual cancellation. Okay, in order to close the escrow out, return all the money, you got to do a mutual cancellation. If any of the parties entitled to the funds less fees incurred by that party, fees may be payable for the service providers and so forth. Release will require mutual sign release instructions from the parties, a judicial decision or arbitration award. Okay? But it says here, if either party fails to execute a mutual cancellation, one party may make a written demand to the escrow holder for that deposit. Okay? Escrow holder, upon receipt, shall deliver the written notice of demand to the other party. If within 10 days after this escrow holder's notice, the party does not object to the demand, escrow holder shall disperse the deposit to the party making the demand. Okay? If escrow holder complies with the procedural process, each party shall have deemed to release the escrow holder from any claims or demands. So what they're saying, like what I said earlier, is that if let's say, the deal is going to be canceled, and they put a demand for that deposit. That deposit could be $5,000. It could be $1,000. Sometimes on a bigger transaction, it could be not a commercial, but on a bigger transaction using this form, it could be a $10,000, $15,000 deposit. And what the question is if they put a demand, in for it, and then the escrow holder sends you a message, and you're the agent, and you ignore it, or you don't really know what it is. All right? You say, hell no, I'm not going to sign this because I'm not going to release it to the buyer. or I'm not going to release it to the seller, and you don't respond saying that you reject, then guess what? They're just going to release it. They're just going to release it to the other party, and then you guys are off to fend for yourself. Does it make sense? You're off to fend for yourself. So don't get stuck in that situation. It's in here, so don't get stuck in that situation, okay? Okay, yeah.
It could be like the buyer's going on vacation or something. The seller knows he's going to be gone for 2 weeks. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's going to send it to the agent, okay? All right, next. Okay, we're gonna go down. Yes, Don. What? Well, if they respond saying, I'm not agreeing, then at that time, you guys have to go to arbitration or mediation. You know, the CAR has a mediation and arbitration service, okay? They have a mediation and arbitration service that you guys could sign up for where the clients can communicate and try to mediate it together, okay? All right. Yes?
Who did you say that was?
CAR? Yeah. Okay. Let's move down to number 18, compensation. I know that this part affects your pay, so this is a very important part in this contract, okay? Because this part affects your pay, okay? Okay, brokers, compensation. All right. This basically says the scope of duty of the broker. You know, I'm going to leave it for you to read on your own. I don't want to read it to you. I'm going to let you read it on your own, the scope of duty for the broker and for you, you know, the responsibility that you owe to your clients, okay? All right. This also says you got to make sure that the people signing any contract has the capacity to sign, meaning that there's a form in here that if you're signing on behalf of a company, if they're signing on behalf of their corporation, you have to get proof of that, okay? Okay? If they're signing on behalf of a power of attorney, then you have to get proof of that. Okay, and there's a new form in here that I've included in your package, where there's a form that says it's the representative capacity signature addendum. Okay. I put it in here for you. You don't necessarily have to look at it right now because you're going to be reviewing all of your forms. But there's a representative capacity signature addendum. That means that if you're working on behalf of a corporation, or you're buying on behalf of a partnership, or you're buying on behalf of a, okay, on behalf of a, how can I say it? You're buying on behalf of a, or representing on behalf, signing on behalf of a power attorney, then you got to get the proof, okay? Okay, so you got to have evidence of this, okay? Next, and so it's very important. If one or more parties is signing this agreement in a representative capacity and not for themselves, they should indicate it, and they need to get a form, okay? All right. Let's keep moving forward here so we can finish this off. And you guys got your hours in for this class, okay? All right. Next section just talks about the remedies of breach of contract. Okay, if the buyers were to breach the contract, they're liable for the deposit or up to 3% of the purchase price. Okay. 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 All right. 22 is dispute resolution. Okay. There is, and I circled it, in dispute resolution, there's a mediation, and it's right here, through the CAR Real Estate Mediation Center. Okay? So the CAR has a real estate mediation center. So if ever there's a dispute between buyers and sellers, there's an area for the buyers and sellers to mediate. Okay? In signing this agreement and initialing here, where it says dispute resolution, the buyer and seller automatically agree to mediate any dispute or claim arising out of this agreement. Before, there wasn't really that resource, but right now, that resource is there, okay? So, I'm going to repeat this again. If ever the buyer and seller have a problem, instead of us trying to get involved, okay, and right, trying to get involved, Say, hey, stop. If you're upset with the seller, if you're upset with the buyer, before either one of you, before the answer is you got to get an attorney, they're not returning deposit, you guys sue each other. No. Okay, I want everyone to understand something right now. When they initial this area, mediation, the parties agree to mediate any dispute or claim arising between them out of this agreement or any transaction before resorting to the arbitration, okay, through the CAR Real Estate Mediation Center, okay, all right, or any other mediation provider that services they both pay. So, they could go through their own mediator and pay for it together, or they could go through the CAR's mediation service. So from now on, if there's ever a problem between buyer and seller, then you say, hey, look at your contract. Before you agreed to buy this property, both you guys agreed to go to mediation. I'm going to get the mediation information. Let's get it started. You guys work it out. Does it make sense?
So there's no option to opt out on that?
Yeah, no, there's an option to opt out. You just don't initial that area. Okay, you just don't initial that area, and then after that, then basically you guys go to court. Okay? Yeah, there's a place to initial right there.
Oh, it's at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a bottom right there. Okay, mediation, arbitration. But to make things simple and faster, have them initial it, and then they just go to mediation. Does it make sense? Because, there's always that question that arises, man, my buyer, my seller, they're having a problem with each other. They want to cancel. They want to give the deposit back. I mean, that's what, 80% of the problems right there? So look, if you guys can't agree, mediation. Put your demand in first, right? You represent the buyer, they want the deposit back, boom, put a demand in right away. If they don't respond in 10 days and say no, then the client gets their money back, right? Once they put a demand in, the client still says no, okay, both of you guys mediate. It's not real estate agents, okay, let's all sit down and start negotiating. No, it gets like, right? Okay?
What is the fee to cost of that one?
Yeah, I don't know what the fee is, but I know it's reasonable, okay? I know it's reasonable.
So both parties they have to pay or what?
What's that? Yeah, both parties.
They take it out of the deposit.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. The last page. Oh, thank you, Lim. Okay, this is my speaker, my mic. All right, last page. There's one area that's new. It's called an assignment. Buyer shall not assign any or all part of this interest in this agreement with first having to obtain a separate written consent of the seller. Such consent cannot be unreasonably withheld. So if there's a buyer in the property, the buyer can actually assign their contract to someone else. Okay? If the terms of the deal is still the same, for the seller, then the seller cannot unreasonably withhold the assignment. Does it make sense?
So it's number 26, right?
Yeah, number 26. So there's a special form in there. And normally, when would it happen? Let's say a wife is buying a home, but she didn't qualify for the loan, so she's assigning the deal to the husband. Or like maybe some kids are buying a home and they didn't really qualify, so they sort of, basically, maybe their parents are going to buy the home from non-owner occupied, okay, non-owner occupied, but the parents buy it for them, it's that type of deal, okay? But you can assign the sale to someone else, okay? You can assign the sale. All right, and basically everything else is basically pretty common. All right, now, in the next page, there's just a couple things for me to point out that's important, okay? First part that I need to point out to you that's important is acceptance of the offer. If your clients accept the offer, then the sellers, if the seller signs the acceptance of the offer, because there's an area on the previous page for the buyer to sign, so the buyer signs it, okay? If the seller wants to accept the offer, the seller signs it, okay? If there is a counter offer, the seller still signs it, and then marks the box for attached counteroffer. Okay? All right, so the seller still signs it, but then also checks the box for attached counteroffer. Okay, once the offer is accepted, then the seller once the counteroffer is accepted, then the seller has to initial the confirmation of the acceptance from the buyer as well. A lot of times we don't see that initial on the contracts. Okay? So seller signs it, right? And then sends it, okay? And then once the counteroffer is accepted by the buyer, the seller has to initial that they're aware that there's the counteroffer was accepted, okay?
So they could technically take another offer that hasn't been
No, once it's accepted, once the other thing is signed and communicated, then you show proof of communication. Yeah, no, that you got to get those initials right away.
I know.
Right.
I think that comes in most importantly when you're counter-offering multiple offers and time is of the essence.
Right.
That's extremely important.
Extremely important, okay? So make sure you get initial that they've received the initial confirmation acceptance by the person, okay? By the seller. Especially in multiple offer situations, okay? Because, here's the thing. And this is important, and we'll end it off here in a few minutes, okay? So bear with me for another 10 minutes here. Is that once you make a counteroffer, before they sign your counteroffer back, you could rescind the counteroffer. I've had people, check this out, okay? Buyer submits an offer, okay? Seller counters back, giving you, till a certain amount of time to respond, right? So buyer thinks that buyer has a day to respond. So the agent's just sitting on it. All of a sudden, another offer comes in. Seller calls back and says, forget my counter. Now we're in a multiple counter situation. Can they do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the box? Did they get rid of that?
Right? No. It's on the counter offer. Okay? But the thing is that just so you know, if you make an offer or if you make an offer or you make a counter offer, you can rescind it before they respond. One of those deals just came up not too long ago. Hey, they gave me an offer. They just sent me the offer and they gave me till tomorrow to respond, but then they accept another offer. And I said to the agent, I said, well, were you going to accept that counter offer? Yeah. So why didn't you do it right away? Well, no, I called them. I told them already. You called them and you told them? This is real estate. Everything has to be done in writing. Does that make sense? By the time, they got the client to finally sign and send it back, it was too late. Now they're in a multiple counteroffer situation. Does that make sense? Luckily, you got it anyways, okay? But the thing is that, no, don't make that mistake. Oh, I got a counteroffer. Okay, so you take your time with it. If you get a counteroffer, try to do it as fast as you can because they can rescind their offer. Okay? During the time they gave you to respond to a counteroffer, other offers are coming in, right? Now, what if an offer that was $10,000 more than yours came in that's cash? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to cancel yours and take the other one. You see? Okay? That's just part of the game. All right? So you guys have to do it right. Okay. I'm just going to go over the other forms that we put it in this package for you so you have it. We'll go over the other forms, okay? We just wanted you to have it because these forms are new forms. The old forms that we have, a lot of them are updated, okay, but we just wanted to put a package together of the new forms. Not necessarily you're always going to be able to use the new ones, but we wanted it in there for you, okay? So there's a possible representation of more than one buyer or seller. You need to use that form on all of your offers now. Okay? Contingency for sale of the buyer's property. It's a new form, okay, that you use if the buyer is selling a property. Seller's purchase of a replacement property. It's opposite of a buyer's contingent. It's a seller's contingent, okay? Notice of seller to perform. That's the form we talked about, the NSP. There's a new corrective repair form. Seller response and buyer reply to request for repair. There's a form for that, okay? So like before, you just put addendum together and you send it over and have them sign the addendum. Now it's different. It's formal. Yes?
They told us in that class also that the WPA is going away.
Okay.
This is the form that's going to replace
So which one?
the request for repair.
Yeah. Yeah, the WPA is going away. Okay. All right. Representative capacity signature addendum. That's the one we just talked about. Assignment of agreement. It's a new form. Okay. Buyer counter offer. See where it says expiration, buyer's counter offer. You know, that's what we're just talking about. Okay. Seller counter offer. Okay. Demand for release of deposit. Okay. To the escrow company. Seller demand for release of deposit. So this is the form I'm talking to you about. If their buyer wants the deposit back, they request for it. If in 10 days the other side doesn't respond, they'll get their money back. Okay? Seller wants to keep the buyer's deposit. This is the form you use. Seller demand for deposit. If buyer doesn't respond in 10 days, title company is going to send the deposit to the seller. You understand that? Okay? All right, quick announcement before we leave. Tomorrow, in our insurance division, for those of you who don't know, we have a full-blown insurance division in our company. Okay, we have a full-blown insurance division in our company. So tomorrow we have a training for the people in our company who are interested in Obama 15 and the Obama healthcare plan. And helping you get your insurance license and so forth. There's a 2-day training. The first day training is all the different health insurance programs. I know that some of the people in here, I know it's not relevant to everyone, but some of the people in here have your health license. Okay? For 2015, companies are required to carry health benefits if they have more than 50 employees. All right? So in our insurance division, we've picked up the products that are offered for group health plans and even individual health plans. And so if you want to learn all about those things and the rule changes, and it's available tomorrow and the day after, and there's and as a recruiter, as a builder in our company, there's no cost to just attend the training and sit through it. On Thursday, there's an all-day, and what time is it, Alex?
8 to 5 both days.
8 to 5 both days. I encourage you, if you are ever interested in getting into that, to attend that training tomorrow and on Thursday, 8 to 5 both days. On Thursday, it's training on wellness. It's a training where anyone, if you have time, you could attend. The training on wellness is not only for learning what wellness is all about, but it's learning about physical fitness, nutrition, and stress management. And I've seen people take this training and go out there and end up losing a lot of weight and being less stressed in their life because they learn a lot of concepts about being healthier. And it's being taught by some of the best trainers in the country. Okay, so and it's an event. You don't have to pay for it. You just attend. You just have to RSVP at the front desk. Okay, and it's held here. So if weight management, nutrition, stress management is something you might be very interested in, we have a wellness training on that day that will really be beneficial for you because we want healthier people and agents. And some of the top trainers in the country are going to be there to be able to help you with that, okay? It's going to be at the front. So guys, again, I thank everyone for being here today. Yes.